Good morning, everybody. We had to come somewhere a little different because it just looks so sordid sometimes when I look at the videos. Like, oh my God, Olympia, help. So there are places to escape to, and we definitely do as much as we can. And we'd love just to hear your thoughts about anything, really. It's funny, I'll kind of have a lot of thoughts and feelings, and when I get here, it's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Oh, the dog is so happy. What on earth is there to complain about in the world? But there's a lot, and it's important to really see things for what they are, and it really feels just like, wow, we've got a lot of bullies running the show, don't we? That's kind of what I'm feeling regarding the whole Kavanaugh thing, that I think everybody is sort of watching this Shakespearean explosion occurring, and it's kind of good to come down to the water, and it's like, let's be cleansed with this, let's be done with this. And I think it's been painful to live with the hypocrisy of the left, that they're screaming that this man drank beer in college, and yet the left is always pushing for all kinds of insanity all the time, and yet they turn into church ladies when it's you. And I don't know why it's been like, and it probably has been for many people, just another aha moment, because we've all sort of had to live amongst these people. And it was weird. I saw like a paper that this woman had written about artificial memory. This woman, Ballsy Fraud, is that what we call her now? Ballsy Fraud. And kind of just realized the deep cynicism we're dealing with, and anyone who's pausing to sort of give anything a chance of any sort of credibility at all is falling for a bad game that's been fallen for too long. And it's weird. It's like when you wake up and you sort of see the game, they start screaming, they double down, they bully people, and it's like, we've had enough. It's like it doesn't even matter anymore. You know, this is a little hound from the pound, and they did say he liked to dig holes. That was one thing that they sort of mentioned, and here he goes. Okay, he's on a little digging excursion here, and yeah, so it's time to really not be so intimidated by them. But boy, it's hard when they've got all the jobs and they've got the numbers, but there's a feeling of it beginning to break away. Maybe I'm just an optimist, but hey, when you're places like this, it really helps. This is called this is sort of like called Pioneer Park, but I'm sure that before Pioneer Park, the Native Americans were bathing down here too. This is the Lower Deschutes, not the one in Oregon. I think there's like another Deschutes in Oregon. This one's kind of smaller and just a little river that comes down from Mount Rainier, but it's quite pure. You know, there's no factories or anything kind of along the way, so it's this wonderful place to come and just run around and be a little bit happy. And you know, we're going to see this through, but they're going to fight it every step of the way. The thing about the left is they don't give up, and they somehow just defy logic and reason. You know, it's weird. It's sort of like I've tried to block out certain times that really maybe shouldn't be, but I did live in a commune for a while. An actual bona fide commune. I'm not proud, but I did learn quite a lot, and there's an element of policing that goes on within the commune. One place, and only one place, did I read And I'm so sorry I didn't kind of, you know, print it out or whatever. It was sort of in the early computer days. And I remember doing a lot of reading about the Dulles brothers, just because I'd worked at Sullivan and Cromwell as a proofreader years ago, and was kind of just studying up on them. And so we were looking at things about the Dulles brothers, and I think I've talked about it in other vids, the Jolly West connection with the LSD, that Sandoz Labs was one of our clients and all of that. But one of their psychological operations, one of their deep doo-doo psyops, according to whatever document I had found at the time, was the commune. Because the commune is an ultimate spy thing. It's just like the Catholic Church with confession, or with the people that go to shrinks. That's one reason why shrinks are a big deal, because it's always about this confessioning. Confessioning, what am I saying? It's always about confessing. Sorry, I was up a long time last night, but really wanted to get out here with the dog and not do the sort of, oh my God, I was up so long, I think I'll just keep sleeping mode. But yeah, it's interesting that way, isn't it? So, you know, what do we do from here? Yeah, so communes, in fact, the word that was used by Alan Dulles was that it created a mind mush, that if people lived in a commune. And, you know, it's so interesting, because I did find that when I left it, there were just more ideas I was suddenly exposed to. It was like living within a filter. And, you know, that everyone had this hive mind. It wasn't like, oh, here's just sort of a bunch of like cool artists living in this cool thing, which it seemed like in the beginning. There's a Pied Piper aspect to things, but ultimately that really was what it was a place of mind control. And you know, these things are pretty intense. And yes, you know, just the whole kind of, you know, I don't want to rehash too much, but wow, the whole story of the of that woman, Balsy Ford, and being able to kind of write papers and do these sorts of things. And I just remember so much the person that I was telling you about, just really doing things like this with friends, just really kind of looking at people like, you know, like a total psychological operation to be gotten through. It's a scary world out there, and sometimes it is nice to come and just have peace, because these demons do not rest. These demons do not rest. And if they can't find anything real, they will make something up. You know, they will do anything they can to demonize a person, even if it's something they do themselves. And, you know, that I find to be, you know, truly atrocious, truly atrocious. And we know that these people drank beer. The Amy Kubek, I was living in Minnesota for a while, and I went to an art gallery there that was called The Walker, and they had this art exhibit up, and all it was big posters making fun of the woman from the other party, and I'm trying to remember her name right now. She was quite an amazing woman, and hugely, hugely smeared, and just kind of couldn't take it anymore and left. But she was a very, very brilliant person, and it was really terrible just to see the destruction of good people who work hard all of their lives, and you know, only just to sort of be beaten down and beaten back. And anyway, sorry, it's just hard to concentrate out here. It's a little easier when I'm looking at the government in front of my face. Then it's like, oh my God. You know what though, there is one other thing I'll bring up, because I keep wanting to sort of talk a little bit about it, and the building is so ugly I don't want to subject you to it too much. But that is that my fantasy is, you know, let's get rid of the government unions. Why should there be unions protecting the jobs of workers that are being paid for by our tax dollars? Does that seem, I don't know. I kind of wondered, how is that legal to have a job that's protected, whether or not you need it and whether or not the person's doing any good when it's being paid for by us? So yeah, my neighborhood is kind of surrounded by the union for state workers. I think it's called the, you know, that AFSCME thing. And I've just been seeing, I drive by it all the time, and it dawned on me the other day, why would the government workers need a union? Taxation only by representation, right? They're not just there for their job security. So I guess drain the swamp is the way to put it here. I don't know what's going to happen though. What do you do when you have termites around you who are working against you day and night? You know, what is going to happen? And what do people feel about tribunals? Do you feel that when Kavanaugh is in, if he gets in, that there's going to be repercussions for this? Anyway, take good care. Love you all. Bye.